Hi everyone, this is Megan, the Adult Services Librarian at the Cartersville Library. Thank you so much for tuning in again today. This is the second in a series of DIY at-home craft projects, and this one's actually one of my favorites. We did it at the library last year around Christmas time. This is a slightly different version, but I think it'll be a lot of fun to make. The majority of our supplies will come straight from your backyard. We are going to be making a nature loom, and I will give you a quick picture here that shows you what the completed craft looks like so you know what we're aiming for. For this project you will need sticks, various greenery from around your yard, scissors, thread, and some kind of string. To begin, first decide if you want your loom to be a triangle or a square. I chose to make a triangle. Lay out the shape of your loom just to get an idea of what you're aiming for. You want the ends to overlap so that you'll be able to tie them together. Cut a length of string for each corner of your loom. I didn't measure here, I eyeballed it knowing that I would have to wrap it multiple times around each side. It ended up being a little over a foot. For the first loop, tie a knot directly in the middle so that it stays put while you do your wrapping. This will give it a little more stability. Now you just want to wrap around horizontally and vertically until you feel like it is secure. And you will tie another double knot here to finish it off. Once you've done this, you're just going to move around and do the same thing to all 3 or 4 of your sides. So I'm on the last side here. It's a little bit more difficult just because you have to hold it with the tension. Children especially might need some help here just to hold it together while you tie, but it's certainly doable by yourself. So now it's time to start tying on the thread to make the pieces that we're actually going to weave into. I just cut a bunch of various length pieces of thread here so that it would be easy to grab them and go. Really all you're doing here is tying thread across your loom parallel to one another. Tying on the pieces of thread was definitely the most time-consuming part, so I'm just going to kind of breeze through this with you guys so you can see what I did. You don't want your pieces of thread to be too far apart because there won't be enough to hold your greenery in place, but you also don't want it to be too terribly tight because it can be difficult to get the greenery in, and you risk breaking it or crushing it when you do that. I left them around an inch apart, and I could have probably gone a little bit closer. It might have been a little bit easier in the end. But again, it's not a perfect science. And you can go ahead and trim the ends that are left as you go. So I think this is the most fun part. You get to be a little bit creative now and weave your greenery into the loom. It might take a little bit of trial and error to get things to stay, and like me, you might end up taking it all out and putting it back in, or finding new things to put in or changing out things. But that's the fun of it. It's simple and you can make it look however you'd like. Also, we would really love to see your finished products. So if you and the family or your kids or just you are making these, send us a message on Facebook, shoot us an email at reference@bartowlibrary.org, or comment on this post. Alright, now the only thing we have left to do is just to tie a string on the top so that you can hang it. I think these look especially pretty hanging in a window. That's where I currently have mine hanging in my house. And you are done once you get the string tied on. So thank you again so much for joining us for this tutorial, and I will have another craft video for you guys next week. Hope to see you then.